welcome to the Joy of Yoga. Today I'm going to tell you about my new yoga trapeze. We'll also be doing some traditional yoga poses, but with a new twist. And we'll even take you through some really awesome inversion therapy. So before we begin, I'd like to talk a little bit about the benefits of having a yoga trapeze like this. If you've heard of inversion therapy or inversion tables, this really offers the same sort of benefits to your spine, but in a much more dynamic way. When you get upside down, it allows the space between your vertebrae to actually refill with fluid. We have these discs, and when we get compacted, as we're walking, as gravity is pulling, the liquid comes out of these discs and actually makes it so we have less cushion between our vertebra. So when we allow ourselves to get upside down, this really helps to open it back up, allows that fluid to refill those sacs. This happens a little bit as we sleep, but you can actually lose 3/4 of an inch of height just in one day alone. And that's why you'd notice older people tend to be really short and their spines tend to be a little bit misshapen, misaligned. It's because over the years, gravity tugging down has literally made them shorter. So actually, if you're height conscious and you're like, I wish I were taller, inversion therapy will help you grow taller. This is great if you have sciatica or if you have a herniated disc, because then this will help allow that disc to slide back into place. If you have scoliosis, this will allow the space to happen in your spine while giving strength to the muscles to help support that newfound space. So you can actually start to lessen the degree in which your spine is curved. This also helps with a number of health benefits, such as when we go upside down, this really helps to get our lymph nodes flowing, our circulatory systems moving, fresh dose of oxygen to the brain so we feel more alert. This also helps to make us feel a lot more at ease, more calm and relaxed. So if we are tackling any sort of issues, we can stay in an unbiased position, really calm, and work out our solutions. In this video, I will be really focusing on some gentle ways to ease your back pain. If you are looking for more of a dynamic flexibility and strength building flow, we will cover that in part 2. Again, this is just to really help you unwind and relax and tackle any of that back pain you might be facing or anything else. So as you can see, I have my yoga trapeze hanging from a tree in the backyard. Yours might be hanging in a doorway or from a beam. However, just go ahead and set it to whatever height you're comfortable at. Most of the time, you want it just a little bit above your hip height. So I'm going to stand just in front of the yoga trapeze and I'm going to place my hands on the most comfortable handles for me. Yours might be the medium length or the short length, whichever you're preferring. We're gonna clasp our hands together, or you can just hold on to your handles. Standing up nice and tall in your mountain pose, we're going to exhale, pushing our arms out, letting our head drop below our shoulders. Just allowing ourselves to relax here. I'm not looking up at my hands. I'm not looking at my belly. Nice neutral spine. You might feel kind of an intense stretch right in your lats, kind of on the sides and underneath of your armpit. That's where actually I'm feeling it most now. Breathing. And inhale, you can go ahead and bend your knees slightly and stand back up, nice and slow. Keeping the feet about hips distance. We're going to take our handles into our right hand, and you can place your hand onto your hip, or you can have the hand down by your side. We're going to reach this right arm over, exhaling, pushing out into the handles. Really keeping that right foot planted still, especially on the outer edge. You want to feel a nice long stretch here. And actually you want to try and peel that right shoulder open so you can look up. Or if your neck is too sore, you can always keep your neck nice and neutral. That's usually what I opt for. Really pushing into the handles and keeping that outer edge, that outer side nice and stretched, pressing all the way down with the right foot, not dumping my weight into my left arm. And inhale, swinging the handles forward to help you stand back up. Nice deep breath here. And inhaling, go ahead and transfer the handles into your left hand now. Exhaling, we're pushing through with that left arm. You can place your hand just along your side. Still pressing with the outer edge of our left foot to really elongate the rib cage here. Peeling that left shoulder back and open. Keeping the neck neutral if you'd like, or twisting to look up. Breathing. We're swinging our hands out in front and pulling in to stand up. Nice deep breath here. Next, you can place the handles around the armpits if that's comfortable for you, or you can reach up, wrap the fabric around your hands, whatever you feel most comfortable with. Keeping the arms shoulder width apart. I'm going to just lightly let myself drop back, kind of get used to the motion of really trusting the trapeze, kind of falling back into nothingness. And as I continue to breathe, I'm going to let myself swing around in circles, keeping my feet nice and planted. It's okay if your heels start to come up a little once you're reaching forward, but really work to get them in a nice stretch. Moving nice and slow with your body. Breathing. And inhale, coming back to standing. Grabbing onto the handles, taking the handles right out to your sides. You can twist back to look over your right. Inhaling back to center. Exhaling, pressing through the other side. I'm really pushing with that razor edge of my hand. Inhaling forward. Exhaling, looking back. Trying to look past my fingertips. And inhale back to center. Go ahead and bring your thumbs in close so that way the straps are just by your shoulders. You're going to let yourself hang all the way down. If you'd like, you can keep your shoulders engaged, or you can let them go slack here depending on what you're needing. And with feet planted on the mat, we're exhaling, rotating all the way around to look over that right shoulder. And inhaling back to center. Exhaling, twisting all the way around to look past that left shoulder now. And moving with your own breath, inhaling, exhaling. Notice I'm pressing my knees into the ground to help me lift and arch, but just do whatever feels right for you. That's what yoga is all about. That's what this yoga trapeze is all about. Just make your spine feel better. Exhale, go ahead and stand up. All right, so next we're gonna jump into our swing. If you're still a little bit intimidated by it or really new to it, you can please feel free to stay on the ground, learning all the different ways you can utilize the yoga trapeze. When I first got it, I just sat in it for a long time and allowed myself to gently rock, and it was really nice and calming. And it really helped to slowly introduce me to the yoga trapeze. So if you have your yoga trapeze in a doorway, you should be able to just sit on it nice and easily. Since mine is hanging so high, I'm going to show you a front pullover, which is a cool gymnastics move that I like to use on the bars, but this also works as well. All right, I'm just gonna go ahead and switch around here so I'm sitting comfortably in my swing. Go ahead and untangle if you need to. All right, I'm going to find the longest of the handles here and making sure that the trapeze stops just below the sacrum and right above your hips. I'm going to take my knees out wide, feet in, so like a butterfly. As I lean back, my knees are going to catch the fabric, and I'm going to move the handles out of the way as I bring my feet around to the front and then tuck behind. So almost like an eagle pose. You can hold on to the handles here, nice and easy, lowering yourself down. Going upside down at first can be pretty intense, especially if you're really tired, if you've had a lot of caffeine. So you can just do a few of these rocks to kind of introduce yourself to being upside down. Also, if it's brand new to you, if you haven't gone playing outside at the park in a while. Exhaling, just letting yourself rock back, letting the neck go. And inhaling, you can sit back up. Let's just do this a couple more times here. Feel free to just drop right back and hang out there if that's what you're ready for. As you can see, as I'm rocking, the fabric is starting to slide up towards my knees. That will kind of restrict my ability to wrap my legs around the fabric. So again, if you start to notice it sliding, just take a break, make sure you're in a safe position and adjust. Just like with yoga, what do you know? Taking the knees wide, dropping back. You can move the handles out of the way and tuck. And now this time we'll just hang here. Really letting the spine go, let the hips go, let the knees go. This is really great traction in your spine. This is where those fluid-filled sacs that we were talking about earlier have time now to really fill back up, create the space in your spine again, alleviate that back pain. Or if you have scoliosis, this really helps to introduce space back into your spine while also working out your muscles in a completely new direction to help support that newfound space. Breathing. Anytime you need to sit back up, if your head is starting to swell, go ahead and just grab on, untuck, and allow yourself to float back up. Adjusting whenever need be, giving yourself a moment. Whenever you're ready to come back, retucking the legs. Now, if you want to advance this a little bit, you can find the longest handles here, bringing them back behind so that way your thumbs come to your shoulders. I'm going to press them out and forward under my shoulders. So now I'm in a supported scorpion here. You can untuck the legs, untuck the feet. So now you're more of in a Superman type pose. You can hold here. This is a great full body workout. If you want, you can start adding some crunches. Pulling the belly up. Coming back to your plank. Exhaling to pull the belly up. Back to plank. And when you're ready to come out of this, you can go ahead and retuck the knees and slowly lowering yourself down. Back to hanging. So again, just wherever you're comfortable at, please stay there. Feel free to play around. I'm going to untuck my left leg now, keeping my right leg nice and tucked, and grabbing onto my left foot with my left hand, or both if you can reach, and really kicking that foot into my hands to open the chest, creating that nice back bend here. Breathing. Really letting your spine go. Let gravity do the work here. And exhaling. You can keep that foot unhooked, but we can actually take this right foot now and hook it across both straps here. So now we're getting double stretch here. Sort of like when we thread the needle. And exhale. Always moving nice and slow. That's going to help you work all of your muscles. You can transfer the hook, unhooking your right foot now with the left foot hooked. Grabbing on to your ankle, kicking the top of our foot into our hands, breathing, finding that balance of really pressing into and opening and pulling, all those contradictory statements yogis like to make, and also just letting go, holding those poses, but then letting the muscles sort of relax and melt over it. Taking advantage of not being on the ground. And now I always like to grab onto my straps for a little support, lowering that left foot to hook onto the right strap, re-gripping my ankle, pressing down and away. Feel free to sit back up at any time. Just always move thoughtfully, mindfully. Untucking that foot now. You can come to sit up. Just giving yourself a moment here. Back bends can also be pretty intense. Sometimes I find I can get headaches from them if I sit in them too long. I like to break it up. Now, whenever you're ready, we're going to drop back again. If you can, just keeping your legs pressing down. So now we're going to go into more of a really traditional wheel pose. Making sure everything is nice and set before you transition into this, though. You want the fabric just above the hips and just below the sacrum. I'm going to reach through, grab my ankles, pressing my ankles into my fingers. And then just really allow yourself to drape over. This is really opening my spine here. I can also feel it in my belly, which does a lot of work to help us sit, help us stand up. Can also pull on our back muscles. And I'd really like to thank Yoga Body Naturals for this yoga trapeze and sponsoring our video. I have had so much fun working with this thing. Acro yoga has always been my first passion, first and foremost. And this is like getting to do acro, but without having to have a partner. And I get to be in the air. I love it. I love swinging. I love playing. This feels so good. if you want to try this, if you don't have one, if you're just watching because this looks cool, you could totally go to their website, yogatrapeze.com, and you actually get to try this for 30 days for just $1. Send it back if you don't like it, but give it a shot, man. Try something new. And inhale, we're going to reach for our straps again. You can kind of bend your knees up towards you to help you lift yourself up. I like to rest my head on the straps. Just taking a moment, letting the blood come back down. Now it's time for my favorite part, our little Shavasana here. So you want to make sure that you have a lot of slack out behind you, bringing the material nice and taut underneath you. If you're a larger person than I am, you might really want to come onto your back so you're kind of in a dead bug position with your legs above you. So I'm going to fan my fabric out and slowly start to lay back into it. And then I just like to tuck my knees up into my chest, or I hook them to one side, whichever feels nice for you. And then I just lay here. There's a gentle sway. Feels so good. I always feel like a baby. All wrapped up. Really letting your eye muscles relax. Unfurrowing the brows. Relaxing the jaw. Just really sinking into it. Feeling that slight sway. Please feel free to stay in your yoga trapeze for as long as you'd like. If you're ready, you can start to make your way to sitting. Just nice and easy. You can rest your head if you'd like. Just as when we're rolling over out of our Shavasana on the mat, we're going to give ourselves time to just take in the work that was done, allowing your body to accept this newfound space in its spine. All right, I'm going to go ahead and hop out of my swing now. Please feel free to dismount whichever way is comfortable for you. I'm a gymnast. I do aerial fitness like Lyra and such, so I'm pretty comfortable with being this high in the air and just kind of jumping from where I'm at. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and keep my elbows in nice and tight, allow myself to just slowly slip out and lower down. Thank you so much for following along. I hope that this helped you in your spine. I would recommend you could do this video about 1 to 2 times a day. I wouldn't really go past that. We don't want to overdo anything. So again, go with what feels right for you. If you're looking for something more strength and flexibility building, follow along to the second video where I really show you some awesome dynamic stretches and workouts.